Hey everyone, welcome to the Invent on the Spot workshop. I'm Jason, and if you want to see how I made this cool little step stool for my grandson, stick around, check it out. So I'm using plywood, 3/4 inch plywood. I start by making the 4 components, which are the 2 sides and the 2 steps. The sides are 14 by 12 and the steps are 8 by 14. I take the sides and stack them together, and I begin making my marks as to the height of the steps. The bottom step will be at 5 inches. The top step will be at 11 inches, and I mark those accordingly. And I also begin to mark and lay out for the angle cut to take the edge off the front. And then I also begin to mark for some cutouts, which will help to make the unit lighter. So once I get these marks placed, I stack the boards on top of some sacrificial wood pieces. Since the profile of the sides are the same, I can drill and cut both pieces simultaneously. I start by taking a Forstner bit to the inside edges of the cuts. This will help smooth the edges and give it a radius. So after I get the holes drilled, by stacking them together, the holes can be drilled simultaneously for both boards. Both boards are basically a mirror of each other. So I go ahead and this saves me a little bit of time in the cutting process. So once I get these cleaned up, my next step is to create dados for the steps. Now I could use a dado stack, or I can, in this case, since it's a small project, I just decided to run multiple passes through my table saw in slight increments to create the same dado. And this dado will be set in a 1/4 inch, which leaves me a 1/2 inch of the side, and then it also should give me plenty of strength for the step. So once I run this through multiple times, I take a chisel and I smooth up any imperfections left by the table saw. That'll help the steps to fit in there nicely, make a nice tight glue joint. So as I take the 2 sides to the bandsaw, I use painter's tape to help hold them together. As I said, they're a mirror of one another, so I can make all the cuts, namely the angle cut in the front on the top, and also at the bottom. I can make them at the same time. As I continue to cut this along, and then I transfer over to the jigsaw, and so I can cut the remaining portions of the cutouts out. And then once I get all that done, I take the sander over all the joints, or all the edges, and give them a slight round over as well. So, and then once I get all these pieces done, I lay them out and I put some glue in the dados for the receiving end of the steps, and then I set the steps carefully in place, and I glue the other side, the opposite side, and then place that on as well. And then I run some 1.5 inch screws to secure the steps into the dado on the first side. And then once I got that complete, I turn it over and repeat that process on the other side. And once it's all assembled, I go ahead and apply a coat of shellac to the entire surface. That'll help keep it protected from spills and such that might occur while he's using it. and once it dries, he can step up. I hope my grandson likes it and put it to good use. So if you like this project, or if you want to see any of my other projects and videos that I have going on, you can go to inventonthespot.com. Also, please click subscribe and give it some likes and shares and all that other good stuff. So thanks again for watching. Hope to have something out for you very soon.